So I've documented a ton of different types of hikes on this YouTube channel, going from the tops of mountains to river valleys and a lot of coastal hikes. And me being such a well-traveled person, I don't say that about myself, people say that about me, I thought it would only be appropriate that I would do a top 5 Olympic National Park coastal hikes. So this one is going to be specific for the Olympic National Park. All right, to start off the list, let's start with a tie. I couldn't decide between Third Beach and beach number 4. And something to keep in mind, something that I actually just recently learned, there is a difference between First Beach, Second Beach, and Third Beach, and also beach number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So First, Second, and Third Beach are north of the Hoh River, and beach number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are south of the Hoh River. That was confusing to me at first, but after I looked at a map, it all made sense. So let's start with beach number 4. Beach number 4 is a pretty short hike to get to the beach portion, but you can hike in several miles in either direction. And once you get to the beach portion, you'll be greeted with a bridge and all these Swiss cheese looking rocks. That's the best way I could describe them. They just look like they're just covered in holes, and they're just really cool to look at. And if you hit the beach and you head north, you'll come out to some rocky outcrops that you could jump off and walk along and probably find some cool tide pools. And getting to Third Beach, and yes, I know my trunk is dirty. I've been meaning to clean it. I just haven't had the time. I've been working quite a bit yet, and Third Beach is a bit more of a hike, probably a little less than 2 miles. And both of these hikes are a mix between rock and sand. So either hiking boots or sandals are recommended. But Third Beach opens up quite a bit, especially if you go during low tide. There's a lot of sand to walk on, but there is a lot of nice camping spots if you choose to camp there. And there's a great view while you're doing it. You can see forest sea stacks way off in the distance, and it's a really nice view. Next one is going to be Rialto Beach. Specifically, Rialto Beach northward to Hole in the Wall. And yes, really, the destination is called Hole in the Wall. This one is a great one. A bit more rocky than the other ones, but still a really nice one with some really cool sights. And the cool thing about this one is if you were to pick up a calendar or a picture book of the Pacific Northwest, there's a specific shot that most likely will be in there of Rialto Beach. And our next one is Ruby Beach. And I think this one, besides the last one on the list, has the biggest parking lot, and for good reason. And like the previous two, this one is kind of a short hike. Once you're finished with the hiking portion from the parking lot to the beach portion, you're pretty much at the destination, the prettiest part of the hike, which makes it very popular. But yeah, it's popular for a reason. It gets a lot of people to go. The last time I went, I could not even find a parking spot in the parking lot. It was completely full, but it does have some really cool sea stacks out there and a long beach portion that you can walk along if you want. And yeah, it's just a great one. Highly recommend it. If you're heading down the coast, you gotta at least stop and check it out. All right, the next one is one of my favorites. It is the SHISHI Beach Trail. Some people call it SHISHI, but I believe the correct pronunciation is SHISHI. And I believe it is around a 6-mile round-trip hike, and it is beautiful. You start out going through the forest with a mix of boardwalk and just straight trail. And as you're hiking along the trail, you hike along the bluffs, viewing the beach portion that you are going to be hiking along, just getting a taste of some of the more amazing views that you're going to get on that beach portion of the hike. And when you finally get to that beach portion, it opens up to a nice sandy beach. It is really, really beautiful. And once you're there, you get a hike southward towards the Point of Arches. And the Point of Arches you can see on many of these coastal hikes, but on this one, you're hiking towards them, and it's stunning. And once you get to the Point of Arches, if you arrived at low tide, there are these beautiful and amazing rock formations, typically hidden by the tide. It looks like layers upon layers of rock that, if you time it right, it is just beautiful. if you can do it, go at low tide. It just adds to the art of nature that you are going to see at the Point of Arches. So yeah, I've gone there several times. If you have the chance, get out there, go see it. And last but not least is my favorite Olympic National Park coastal hike. It has to be the OZETTE Triangle. Now this one might seem daunting at first when you look at that you're going to be going 9 miles in total, but it's not. I've done this one in less than 5 hours. It is all flat when you start the trail, and I go northwest towards Cape Alava, and then you get to Cape Alava, and it is just gorgeous. You see an island off in the distance, and then you start your trek down the coastline south towards Sand Point. But halfway through that beach portion of the hike is the Native American petroglyphs. And I love petroglyphs. I think they're so cool. So continuing south to Sand Point, there's this lookout point, like this sandy hill that I love to climb and look out on, that you can climb up and then look way down the Washington coastline. It is an awesome spot where I had lunch last time I went. And if you want to continue on, that coastline is amazing. When this tide is out, you got this beautiful sandy bar. People say that Washington doesn't have any sandy beaches. It does. You just gotta look for them. And that's one of them. It's just one of my favorite hikes. It is just underrated in my opinion, but still one of the best hikes you can do. And if you don't believe me, I have an entire video dedicated to me hiking the OZETTE Triangle in the description of the YouTube video down below. So if you want to check that out, please do. It's one of my favorite videos I've done because I was having such a good time. But that's it. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It helps out a lot. And if you have a hike that I didn't mention that you thought was one of your favorites that you've done, leave it in the comments below. Maybe it doesn't even have to be an Olympic national park. I know Cape Flattery is another one of my favorite hikes that isn't a part of the Olympic National Park. But if you have one that's one of your favorites, or if this has helped you decide on what you're gonna do, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's it for me. See you guys on the trail. Bye-bye.